The Bindi. It's a nasty, insidious weed. It comes into your yard with no word of warning. A plague of Bindis on your quarter-acre block. That's how Shakespeare would have put it. It disguises itself as one of the regular weeds and stakes a claim on your lawn.
Saliva sessilis. Observe the small, feathery leaves like parsley. The seed, if left undisturbed, becomes well established, and the weed grows to infiltrate large areas.
Before you know it, summer has come and the Bindi head has dried to a crown of thorns, ready to embed itself into the sole of an unsuspecting foot. When I was a kid, our garden never had Bindis. Bindis were found in the gardens of careless people who never spent a weekend weeding and didn't take any pride in their home. Our grass was not classy enough to be called a lawn, but it was soft and green, not a crispy claw in sight. I had never had to do the Bindi dance to my washing line. Nice families don't have Bindis. Bit like nits, really. Nice families don't have nits. My Bindi obsession started last year with an innocent enough observation by our neighbour.
Hey missus, you know you got Bindis.
We did have Bindis, and the buggers were everywhere. You know how sometimes you don't read the signs, you're not interested in a subject, and then it's suddenly important to know about it? As soon as someone shines a light on it, you see it everywhere. And I did. I saw Bindis everywhere. Getting rid of Bindis became my mission, and I discovered my best tool was a screwdriver. With surgical precision, I attacked the root and, thrusting the screwdriver upwards, splayed the little crown-scented star, severing its tight grip on the soil below. My husband wasn't going to let a nasty little weed take over his turf. He went to the hardware store and bought Bindi. No more Mr. Nice Guy. A male quick fix chemical blitz was required. First you spray the weeds, wait a few days and let them brown and dry out. And then you pick the dead ones out of the grass. But no waiting for my husband. I came home the next day to discover whole tracts of grass had been torn up, exposing large patches of naked earth. There was a huge scar across the lawn. I was really annoyed with him. This was typical of Jake. No planning, just go ahead. But I couldn't blame him for taking his frustrations out on the Bindis. It was an easier target than...
Astrocytoma, the most common type of brain tumour, develops from abnormal star-shaped cells which multiply in an uncontrolled way.
You know when he was first diagnosed? September 11, 2001, 9/11. When we came out of our first meeting with the neurologist, I asked him, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Are you?
No, I'm not. You've just been diagnosed with cancer.
She didn't say cancer. Okay, cancer doesn't run in my family. It's a brain tumour. That's not cancer. No.
And he went off to work. The biopsy results introduced us to a new world of terminology. Non-malignant grade 2 tumour. It had probably been growing for years. Regular MRI scans were arranged to monitor any changes. So we got used to a life with Jake's lodger in the attic, ever present. And life went on. Work, routine, travel, another home birth, songwriting and musical collaborations. Life. May 2007, they opened Jake's head for a second time. Still only a grade 2 brain tumour. But now with areas of grade 3, malignancy. But everything that was going on in the left side of his brain affected everything on the right side.
Did you want some fruit on your bread?
Do I want marmalade on my toast? It was gradually taking over, this Bindi patch.
Glioblastoma multiforme, grade 4 tumour. It's a very aggressive type of malignant tumour. It infiltrates surrounding brain tissue, so there is an even greater chance of stroke-like symptoms. I'm afraid it does limit the success of any operative procedure.
How long?
About a year.
Maybe a year? What can you do? What can't you do? How do you plan your life when it becomes a medical routine? Chemo and recovery. More chemo and recovery. More chemo and more recovery from chemo. With some sort of living in between. Sometimes he couldn't speak at all. For a man whose life was songwriting, it was devastating. Looking out the kitchen window at the battle-scarred grass and Jake, all the dead, bare patches opening up in my life, he slowly paced up and down the backyard, dragging his right leg and arm, defiant. Can't let yourself be defeated. Can't let yourself feel that you've given up. Can't be seen to be giving up.
Jake, the tumour has become more aggressive. It has declared itself. Jake, you are dying.
We knew it would come to this, but it was just so shocking. The bucket of ice water thrown on your naked body. Remembering this time last year, getting on with the job of living. There was no Bindi dance last summer, but there was no Jake either. Once you've had Bindis, you're forever vigilant. I don't want those nasty claws to clutch at my kids' bare feet. It hurts. Bindi's hurt. I've still got my screwdriver and my mission. There'll be no bloody Bindis on my watch.
In the dark, sometimes I know you feel sometimes like you don't know where I am. And in the cold, sometimes I know you think sometimes that you can't feel the warmth in my hand, the warmth in my hand. No, but I'm right here, right here.